you either put him back on the plane by that 90th day or you marry him. Hi, I'm Stephanie, and today I'm hanging out with In Touch. Absolutely. When I first became engaged, due to the coronavirus, everything was, held back a little bit. But finally, they sent approval that the embassy was open and that the expiration date for Ryan and I to have the interview would be the end of September of 2020. I thought that was current, and come to find out, I then received something in the mail about a month later saying, due to the coronavirus, we've moved it back even more. We are not comfortable doing interviews yet, which is the final process before Ryan were to fly over. And it says, we have moved it back, and we have now scheduled Ryan's interview for February 25th of 2021. And I immediately called via the field producer at Sharp Entertainment and said, I just found out that the original document that I had been given is null and void. So since you have hired Ryan to do 2 episodes of Bears All, and I knew what that entailed, and that is that she had wanted paperwork stating that we were no longer engaged. It is illegal for them to pay someone who is an immigrant unless the process is done. So even though I am not on good terms with Sharp, I did do my due diligence, and so I figured they did their due diligence. And maybe they did. I have not spoken to Ryan since the scene that you saw on TV. I haven't spoken to him at all. Maybe they did, and maybe he didn't take the initiative to do what he needed to do. I have no way of knowing that. From the looks of it, again, it looks like they are letting it go to December 31st, 2021 is what it looks like. Again, due to, they're even doing such things as allowing the interview process, some interviews, to take place via Zoom. So they've just spread everything out because they don't know, obviously, like a couple like Ryan and myself, they don't know, are they not, have we not been contacted because they're broken up, or have we not received writing because, he can't get to the interview from where he's living now. From what I've been told, he's living on a small island. So he would have to take a boat and then have someone provide him with a car to get to the embassy in Belmopan, Belize. There's only one, obviously, there's only one embassy. So that's probably maybe an hour and a half from where he is right now. That's a great question. I don't think Ryan would have the funds to do such a thing, but I'm not sure of that. I should hope not, though. As I have said in past interviews, I did try and get Ryan here on a tourist visa before. And he was denied because he doesn't own anything there. They're like, well, why would you go there and ever return from America? So they denied him. However, he still, I had him ultra prepared because I wanted him to come here. So he had records of all of my financials, the homes I own, what I have in the bank, what I have in the stock market. And it obviously, it well qualifies him to, if he kept that paperwork, I guess there's always that possibility, because he does have my financials in hand. The only reason why I think it would be a slight possibility is he has two sisters here in the United States. Now, one, the one that lives in Florida, she and I are still very close. I don't think she would allow him to stay. However, he does have another sister in California that I have never met, and a brother-in-law. That is my only worry, is that part of the family that lives in California, he could, I guess, technically get there. But I mean, when all is said and done, I don't know how long before they would find him, but as the, I mean, when they say 90, they call the show 90 Day Fiancé for obvious reasons. Once they land, you have 90 days. You either put them back on the plane by that 90th day, or you marry him. So, I mean, he would be here totally illegally if he were to do so. In my opinion, I mean, for sure after 90 days, he definitely would, but I don't know if he would take that sort of risk. But I guess one never knows. At least that family lives in California and I live in Michigan. I'd be a little bit more nervous if we lived in the same state, but who knows what goes through his mind. You know what, I have said before, I've dated people my age, people older, people younger. After what I went through, with Ryan, I probably would preferably date someone with a much higher level of maturity. Sometimes that's a number, and sometimes that isn't a number. It's just the person who they are. Yeah, that would really have to be something I'd have to really think about before I would ever get into something like that again, just because, not being able to see someone for great lengths of time, it's tough. I mean, nobody expected the coronavirus, to happen, but, things in the world happen. I think I'm to the point I'd rather, if I were to meet someone somewhere that I wouldn't mind moving, I wouldn't mind moving to somewhere in the Caribbean, actually. So if it was somewhere that we'd be together on a very consistent basis and not just a few times a year, then of course I guess I would consider it, but not something that, something that like what was going on before. I don't know if I'd ever want to do that. I mean, you know what? I mean, it's not been a good experience. So I think that the people that have had the similar experiences and won't put up with the BS, have moved on. The ones that, that will go along with what TLC, what they demand, what they want you to say, what they want you to do. I mean, those couples are obviously still couples. So my answer is going to be no.